the real value of theory, dialogue, and conversation is the direct application, that is the direct engagement that we produce in your direct experience, because this is where the juice is. This is where the power and the meaning, the way that you engage with the experience. So in the topic of how to work with beliefs and how to dissolve them, or how to perceive that they are already dissolved, it's by going layer and layer deeper. So if you take the belief the universe is 14 billion years old, and if you take the belief I should not eat ice cream, those are two beliefs that are arising right now. And you have to pay attention in your everyday life, when you are at work with your family, when you're alone, when you are doing different kind of activities. You will see this constant popping up of beliefs, of thoughts, judgment, this and that. So don't remember, don't engage with them with the content. Don't start to have some kind of conversation with the belief. But if a conversation appear, notice that the conversation itself is a belief. For example, I like ice cream. That's one belief that emerge within you. And then there is another thought that emerge. It's, oh, I should not eat ice cream. This is the second thought. And then you dissolve, you use a third thought that emerge. Oh, I should not eat ice cream, but I think I will eat ice cream. That's a third thought. So notice that thoughts are not some kind of, have no size, right? I thought it's an experience that emerge. It's a belief that emerge, yeah. But it has not really size. So the thoughts can feel very big. So first you have to perceive the nature of thought, and one aspect of this nature is the beliefs. They build a narration and they build beliefs. And when you start to perceive this, you start to feel that you don't have to engage with them in the way that they are presented to you. If, for example, if the thought emerge and the belief emerge, I should not eat ice cream, there is nothing that you have to do about that. You don't have to think about stopping eating ice cream. You don't have to think about how many ice cream you eat in the past or how many ice cream you eat in the future. All of this, it's nonsense. There is simply one thought that emerged: I should stop eating ice cream. And that's it. There's nothing else that you have to do or not to do. It has nothing to do with whatever behavior. It's one thought emerging. And if you go one layer deeper, you can start to engage with the texture of the experience. For example, you are able to differentiate between a sensation and a sound. If I tell you, feel your feet right now, you will go and feel your feet. You will focus on the sensation of my feet, yeah? And you will feel the texture of sensation. If I ask you, listen around and focus on the hearing, you will start to focus on the sound. My example, the waves. I will start to listen the waves coming up. So I am able to differentiate between the experience of sensation, which is my feet, let's say, and the experience of sound, the waves. So I'm able to differentiate between both of them. And each of them have a specific texture. And that's exactly the same thought. Now, if I ask you, focus on your feet, you're going to sensation, right? It's a very specific experiential field, sensing. If I ask you, go to the hearing, hear this car passing by, hear these waves, hear these people talking, hear this dog barking. You will go and you will feel the experiential field of perception, hearing. Start to focus on hearing, yeah? Simple, easy. It is the same with thinking. if I say focus on thoughts, you will be able to differentiate between thoughts, perception, and sensation. That means that every thought has a texture. Have an experiential texture. So now, when you feel the texture of thoughts, see that you don't have. It doesn't matter what is the content. It doesn't matter what is the belief. The belief I should stop eating ice cream or ice cream is good for you, or or this or that. Whatever belief, it doesn't matter what you are interested in is the texture. The the experiential field of thought has a specific texture. And the proof is that you are able to differentiate with all these textures, such as hearing, seeing, or sensing. Yeah, because a sensation is very different as thought. So thought have a very specific texture. And in your everyday life, instead of being focused or distracted or hypnotized by the narration, by the story of the thought, start to pay more attention to the texture of it. How is this belief emerging in my experience? How it is possible that I am experiencing a thought? How is that even possible? And you focus more on that. And at the beginning, it's easier when you are in a quiet room, seated, probably with eyes closed, because it's it's easier at the beginning because we feel less distracted. But over time, you start also to do this in your everyday life when you're at work with your family constantly. You will see you can always pay attention to the picture of thoughts, and this does not change what you have to do. It's simply an awareness of how am I engaged with experience. It's very simple, and it's not really something that you have to do because you are always engaged with the experience in that way. You are always engaged with your thoughts. You're, in the sense that you are always engaged with the texture of thoughts. Always. Then how thought, the content of it, and all of this, it's something else. But we're always engaged with the texture of it. So it's something that you are already doing. Yeah, so it's more about noticing the way that it is already happening. And that's why it's simple and easy. And that's also why you can do it no matter what is happening or what you are doing. It's already happening. So I invite you to try, and I invite you to comment if you what happened, and if you have any question. I'm here, and see you next time. Bye.